to an address to an apartment complex. I Googled on Google just an address. He drove across town to get there. You plan on having raw unprotected sex with a complete stranger. You that stupid, Xavier? You that motherfucking dumb? Yeah, you are.
The best that I got to tell you guys this. I think a lot of us have stories that we could share with others, and hopefully someone will get something from the story that we share. And boy, do I have some stories to share with you guys. I am a retired hairstylist slash makeup artist. I have worked on ad campaigns. I have worked with fashion shows. I've coordinated fashion shows. I have traveled throughout the United States. I can honestly say that I may have visited anywhere between 38 to 42 states, somewhere in that range. Yeah, a lot of it was for business, and some for pleasure, but a lot for business. I had this really close friend of mine that I had known for 3 years. He and I worked at the same hair salon, and we had a really good friendship. I considered him like a brother, like a big brother, because he was very protective of me. Whenever we went out, he was always, watching over me, making sure nobody wasn't trying to hit me up or, do me wrong. He had my back, and, I had his as well. And we used to also party with other groups of friends of ours. In our core group, it was anywhere between 7 to 9 of us, and we had like a few friends or co-workers, I should say, who would sometimes come, and it would make up like 12 or 13 of us going out to club. And a lot of the clubs that we would hit up, because we had such a diverse group of people, black, white, Hispanic, one Asian, and we were just, men, women, straight, gay. We would just go out to the clubs and party together. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. And I do have a low tolerance for liquor, so that's why I know that, beyond 2 drinks, you may have a drunk on your hand. So my tolerance for liquor is really low. And even like when we smoked, I didn't need to. I didn't need a whole joint to myself. I mean, I can take a few puffs off of that joint, and I am like higher than a kite. But this friend of mine, who I had a really close relationship with, he and I knew each other so well. Sometimes when we partied, and he knew that I was like really out of it, he would literally, take me back to my place. Now, none of us had cars. A lot of people that live on the north side, we didn't have cars. We cabbed where we needed to go. If we were not in a cab or getting a ride with somebody, we were, on the bus. But when we're out partying, we mostly just, cab to wherever we were going. And some of the places we were going was right there within walking distance, because I lived near Boyd's Town, so I was within walking distance of Boyd Town. And in Boyd's Town, there's a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, and when you go to a lot of the gay places, the music was like on 10. I mean, it was popping. Everybody was doing their thing and having a good time. And it was just a welcoming, atmosphere for all of us to get together. No one felt, out of place. I don't think. I know I didn't. But this friend of mine, this one particular time we had gone out clubbing and we had just left a group of friends at the IHOP, and he was walking me back to my place, and I, told him, you know what, why don't you just stay the night with me? I know he didn't live that far from me, but he had like anywhere between a 6 to 8 block walk. So I just told him, to come and stay the night with me. It's not like it was his first time staying the night with me. He's done it many a times before. So, I got him, set up on the couch, and I was in my bedroom. And as soon as I hit that pillow, I think I was asleep. Next thing I know, here he came into my room. He came into my room. And I thought something was the matter, something had happened. But he wanted to talk. I'm like, can we talk about it in the morning? He said, no, I really need to talk to you now. I'm like, okay, come on. Well, he didn't really beat around the bush too long. Next thing I know, he was saying to me that he have not slept with a woman in several years. It's been several years since the last time he slept with a woman. And he asked me if we could sleep together. I'm like, what? he said, I really want to sleep with you. You know I like you. I said, yeah, you like me like your little sister. He said, yeah, I do like you like my little sister, but I'm also sexually attracted to you. I'm like, get out of here. He's like, no, for real. Would you do this with me? Let's try it together. And look, I think he wanted me to believe that he was bisexual. I personally never got that vibe from him. I've always thought of him as being gay, strictly men. I didn't think, coochie was ever a part of his desire. But yeah, he wanted to sleep with me. And I'm like, you know what? If you don't get your ass back on that couch and leave me the hell alone and stop playing with me, look, I had to just kind of laugh that off because I could not take him serious. That he actually thought that I was going to welcome him into my bed and he and I was going to get it on. But I did let him know the next day that, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I see you as my big brother. It's not a sexual thing for me. I see you as my big brother. And once we bring sex into our relationship, it would destroy everything we have together. And I did not want to ruin our relationship by us sleeping together. So he got it, and I'm so glad he got it because I didn't ever want him to think that it was a possibility that he and I was going to ever hook up. It wasn't going to ever happen. I have male friends that it is strictly platonic relationships with, and he was definitely one of them. Well, after that happened, I played like it never happened. Because I didn't want him to ever feel uncomfortable. And I continued to, invite him over those those nights that I felt he might not have been in the condition to be going home, messed up. So, but I think this was he had been a friend of mine for about 3 years. We were co-workers and really really great friends with each other. But that happened, and I think maybe a little over a year after that happened, he then told me he was HIV positive. And that devastated me because in the late 80s and in the 90s, I lost a lot of people, mostly men. Yeah, I can only think of maybe 2 females that I've lost in my life who developed AIDS. But like I said, most of them have been men that I knew to this awful, awful virus. And it's a scary thought to think that he could have been positive when he had approached me. But I know he didn't tell me, he didn't share that news with me until almost a year later, I think. Somewhere, I know it was months later, but that he had HIV. And he and I, we cried together. And we cried together. And he died when I was pregnant with my first child. But it's also a scary thought to think that that friend of mine that I loved like a big brother could have exposed me to HIV. And I don't want to think that he would have did that on purpose, knowing that he had this virus. I don't want to believe that he would purposely expose me to that. So I'm going to continue to believe that he was not HIV positive at that time. And now when I think about it, gosh, he's been dead for over 25 years. My big brother. That's my story. And the reason why I wanted to share that is because you really have to be careful with who you partner up with sexually. And it's important to know people's status. So, that's my story. I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm not showing myself on camera because I'm a hot ass mess and I'm not camera ready. Bye, y'all. Leave a comment and maybe share a little story with me. Bye, y'all.